Good evening, Mr. Eke. Just a few minutes ago, plenary debate on resolution is finished. And what do you think? Do you have like clear solidarity with different political group on situation with Azerbaijan, and what is your expectation regarding the voting for tomorrow? Do you think?
Well, I'm very optimistic that we have a broad consensus with the political groups in support of these people that are subject to human rights violations. We expect from the Azerbaijani government that they give access to the people that are in prison, that they lift all the charges against them, and especially we have been talking about two particular cases of Professor Ibadoglu, who was who was a professor in Dresden, in my hometown, and Mr. Guriev, who is also a whistleblower. But we also see the broader picture, so we expect a broad consensus tomorrow.
And what do you think generally? Why it's happening right now in Azerbaijan? Why during the COP29, Aliyev, which is taking lead from the Council of Europe member state, don't care about his commitment and obligations in front of the Council of Europe and in front of the European Union, because Azerbaijan is part of the Eastern Partnership program, and Aliyev always declared for in economic way he looking forward for integrate more and more with Europe. But what about human rights? Why he don't want to accept the deals and EU and Council of Europe standards with the democracy and human rights and rule of law?
Well, I think that he should accept these conditions because they are part of a partnership. It's very important that we have relations that are for mutual benefit, but mutual benefit also means that we need a human rights situation in the country that is respectful to its citizens and that human rights are respected. We've seen that Azerbaijan is on the world stage now with the COP, and a lot of people, foreign diplomats, NGOs, civil society will meet there and discuss the future of our planet. And this is something that should not be that should not lead to more pressure on civil society. On the contrary, it should lead to a proper human rights record in Azerbaijan.
In a few days, we will see how Mr. Aliyev is supposed to take a trip to Germany. He have his bilateral meeting with Chancellor Olaf Scholz, which is also leader of the Social Democratic Party. What do you think? Do you have any kind of advices to German leadership what they need to do? Because as we heard from your colleague, decided to send to Mr. Scholz letter to call to him to use all opportunities during his negotiation with Aliyev to release Gubadoglu and other political prisoners. Do you think it can work, or?
I think that the Chancellor is well aware of the situation and that Germany uses its diplomatic leverage also to establish a lasting partnership, which means a partnership where human rights are respected.
And last questions relating with European Union support, because government of Azerbaijan arrested many civil society leaders, which is operated with the Council of Europe and European Union program support. But from another side, we just read recently for Global Investigative Media Consortium, they are published a series of reportages how the European Union also support Ministry of Justice of Azerbaijan, how they are renovated from EU taxpayers' money prisons in Azerbaijan, where it is right now. Government of Azerbaijan put up to 300 political prisoners. What do you think what European Union should do? Do European Union need to increase support of the civil society or to support state machines, which is state machine of Aliyev? Because what we observe, it's uncomparable bigger support to the state institution from European Union. And this state institution, which is supposed to implement roadmap and action plan and make it closer Azerbaijan legislation to European Union legislation related with human rights, they are doing opposite side, but they are also using your money to build infrastructure, which is like, in fact, tortured outspoken voices in Azerbaijan. How is it possible to stop misusing of these European taxpayers' funds?
Well, we closely monitor the situation in Azerbaijan, and of course there's negotiations on a strategic partnership. We have this energy partnership agreement, and our resolution that we will vote on tomorrow calls for considering suspension of this energy partnership agreement, and any further agreement is conditional, in our view, should be conditional on the release of political prisoners. And of course there is always a cooperation between governments, but we also support civil society, the European Endowment Fund, and the support for government also in the Eastern Partnership is of course conditional on fulfilling its obligations within this framework.
And my last question is regarding the journalist Imran Aliyev from Meclis Info. As you know, he's also cooperated with a few German independent and public media outlets like ZDF and ARD. Do you think it's possible to use more political pressure against Azerbaijani government to release these innocent journalists? Because what we saw is extremely tortured during the 18th of April, just a few days ago. And what do you think German political establishment and the journalist communities should be respond on this kind of threats against their allies in Azerbaijan? Because the one reason why this person tortured, because he helped to ARD and ZDF produce documentary movie about Azerbaijani reality. What do you think?
Well, public broadcasting has a very high reputation in Germany. It's a non-state, but it's of course public. So media freedom is something that we defend in the European Union and Germany, but also it's part of our partnership expectations that we have. So I think that both Germany and the European Union diplomatic resources will use all the leverage they have to also press for the release of Mr. Aliyev, of the journalist.
I thank you for the interview, and we will see how it's moving forward. By the way, you're planning to go to next term for parliamentary election?
I'm running again, yes.
Yeah. Good luck with this, and we hope to see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.